Hi everyone, it's Terry here from nutsaboutsstamping.com. In today's video, I'm going to introduce to you a product that's in our brand new holiday catalog, and I'm going to show you how to use that product along with the Flourishing Phrases stamp set to make a greeting card. Unfortunately, I need to make a sympathy card, so that's what my card is going to be that I'm going to show you today. But you can actually take this layout idea and use the products you have on hand to make a card for any kind of occasion you need. My card base is crushed curry. I've cut it 8.5 by 5.5 and I've scored it on the 4 1/4 mark. And then to that, I'm going to add a layer of terracotta tile. And then on that layer, I'm going to add a layer of crushed curry and a layer of the Mosaic Mood Designer Series paper. But this layer here, the crushed curry layer, I want to add some interesting detail to it using this new hammered metal embossing folder. It's a 3D embossing folder, and that means that your impression that you're going to have as a result of embossing a piece of cardstock is a much deeper impression than our regular embossing folders. Sorry, so let me show you how this looks. So I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine, and I have the Big Shot platform because this is my Big Shot. I've got a shim. Sorry, I also have a frog in my throat. I'm going to insert my crushed curry cardstock into the embossing folder. And then, because this is a 3D embossing folder, I'm using a different sandwich. I'm going to lay it down on my Big Shot, and I've got the fold, and that's going to go through first, and that prevents your embossing folder from cracking. And then I have a top standard cutting pad on top, and then I'm going to run it through. And I'm not quite done with my embossing folder, but I'll put it aside for a minute. And then look at that. That is quite the gorgeous impression. Here's the other side. And I think I'm going to use this side on my card because to me, visually, it really matches the Mosaic Mood background on the Designer Series paper. So let's put some things together, and then I'm going to bring back my Big Shot so that I can create a phrase. So I've got my snail adhesive and my terracotta tile layer, and I'm going to, adhere this on. Like so. And then I'm going to adhere my embossed layer, the hammered metal layer, like so. And then I have some ribbon, and I'm going to use this strip of ribbon to cover up this line in the middle here. And before the video began, I put some tear and tape adhesive on the back of this layer, the terracotta tile. And then what I'm going to do is just fold the ribbon around and then press it down on the back side like so. Okay, now I'm just going to set this aside for a minute, and I'm going to create a phrase. I've got the With Sympathy phrase from the Flourishing Phrases stamp set. I've got a scrap piece of Very Vanilla, and then I'm going to use my terracotta tile ink. And again, this is going to pull all the colors together. I will stamp this down like so. And then I'm going to use one of my Stitched Shapes framelits. I've got the oval from the pack. There's 3 sizes of ovals. I think this is the medium-sized one. But what you'll do is you'll choose the oval that matches the size of the phrase that you're going to die cut. I'm going to bring back in my Big Shot, and this time I'm going to use the magnetic platform. And then I'm going to put the oval around my phrase. And then top standard cutting pad on, hold it in place, and I cut it out. And one of the reasons that I chose the stitched shape was because I wanted a little bit of a fancier look for my sympathy card. I just felt like it needed it to match the paper design and the hammered metal embossing folder. So now what I'm going to do is bring back in my snail adhesive, and then I'm going to just add some snail on the back of this layer and adhere it down onto my card base, like so. And then I'm going to lay my sympathy card on top, or layer on top. And before I do that, I want to think about placement. So before the video began, I actually took another piece of the Mosaic Mood Designer Series paper and I cut out this little hummingbird. I thought it would be a beautiful embellishment for this card. So what I want to do is make sure that wherever I place my sympathy layer, that this little hummingbird would be a nice match for it. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe put it like that. So I'm going to use some snail on the back of my sympathy layer, and I'll put that down. Adhere that down with my snail. And then I think what I'll do is I'll bring in my mini Stampin' Dimensionals to put on the back of this hummingbird to pop it up. So I think it's nice when you have embellishments that you want to stand out to use something like Stampin' Dimensionals, mini Stampin' Dimensionals, or the bigger ones, depending on the size of what it is you're trying to adhere. And then I'm going to peel off the tails like so. And then I'm going to add the little hummingbird like so. And then I had a leftover piece of the same ribbon, and I think what I'll do is attach that as well. Again, it's personal preference, but I like ribbon on sympathy cards, wedding cards, cards that are sort of a very special nature. And I will add the little bow like so. And that completes the outside of my sympathy card. The reason that I really like the Flourishing Phrases stamp set is not only do they have phrases for the outside of the card, but they also have phrases for the inside of the card on both of these packs. So this is a 2-pack or a 2-container set. So this is number 2 of 2. So I will, after the video is over, I'll go ahead and finish the inside of my card and write my message and get it ready to mail. In the meantime, if you would like a complete list of the products I used and the measurements for the layers, please head on over to my blog, www.nutsaboutsstamping.com. The other thing I'd like to mention is I love to hear from you. I know that you're out there watching my videos. It would be lovely if you would leave me a comment. Tell me what you like about the card, or if you tried this card, or suggest other stamp sets and products you'd like to see me feature, especially from the holiday catalog. Now that it is out and available to order. And if you want to download the holiday catalog, you can do so for free over on my blog, www.nutsaboutsstamping.com. I'm Terry. I'm nuts about stamping. I hope you'll create something beautiful today too. Bye for now.